Yeah, so setting the space, this is interesting because, I'm just going to assume here, if you're observing this, you're a modern person, you have access to some sort of technology where you can view what I'm saying at this moment, and it's not actually at this moment, it's actually recorded and you're playing it back. So there's a high level of disconnect to the immediate world, and if you find yourself in a situation where you have to control the setting for your set, it becomes a little trickier because we don't have in our culture a lot of access points to skilled facilitators. So a lot of people go down the path of self-initiation in these spaces, and it's a sticky kind of way to work through stuff, because once you get caught up in certain things, it's kind of whose these ideas are you going to bounce it off of, right? And so, I think just having someone there to hold the space for you, that you trust and that you can do that, and just, they're just going to hold the space, allow you to go in there. But if you don't have that, you have to also be mindful of your dosage, because at the high end of the substance, if you're going to go really far, you can completely break your consciousness away from linear time and space. And so if your body doesn't feel safe, a lot of those survival mechanisms are going to start being sent in there. So you may be coming into sort of death information, and that's fun because that's the control death situation, and a lot of people end up in that position. I think the basis is if you can, you know what your substance is, you know your dosage, you know how you're going to react. So going slowly and going methodically into these spaces is sort of I think the best way for self-initiation. Playlists of music that and that are good are sometimes, nice as a foundation of stimulus to kind of just allow you to, kind of cradles you into the zone. I've heard the stories of people doing their best by themselves, though, also locking themselves in the room, turning the lights off, preparing everything ready, but then as soon as they're going for the hero's journey, something switches in their brain and they're on some cosmic journey running down the street trying to get into their neighbor's house. That is not an uncommon story. So, I think this is the challenge with people is building socially that foundation where you can get into these spaces safely, because you're going to do them as much as as one sees fit.